Chair now recognizes my good friend from Texas, Mr. Cuellar, for opening comments on the bill.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for yielding. I want to thank you and the ranking member, and I certainly want to thank my good friend, Mr. Calvert, and the ranking individual, Mr. McCollum. And I also want to say thank you to Derek and to Dutch and my good friend from Texas. I think she stepped out, but I certainly want to thank her as a fellow Texan. Let me first say I know this bill is still a work in progress. I understand that, and we'll get together later on. But I do want to point out a couple things that the chairman and some of us have been working on. And look, I know what Russia and China are doing in other countries, in other parts of the world, but we cannot forget about our own backyard, and that is South Central America. If you look at what they're doing, especially in Mexico, and I would ask you to get some of the handouts that Southcom has provided, information that are public. It would show you that China, for example, if you look at what they're doing in Central and South America, they got Belt and Road initiatives, military presence, armed transfers, space infrastructure in Latin America, safe city projects, 5G developments, port projects, and other resources that they're doing. When you look at the countries in South America, you will see that 25 out of the 31 countries host Chinese infrastructure. And again, this is something that we have to keep in mind. Finally, if you look at what the transnational criminal organizations, the TCOs, are doing, and the drugs that they're bringing into the United States, you will see that they're working with countries like China, especially when we're talking about, Mr. Chairman, the laundry of money that they're doing right now and the drugs that they're bringing in. And again, I would ask you to please take a look at this because, again, we don't want to be like what happened in the 1980s where we're focused on other things and all of a sudden we realized that in Nicaragua, the Sandinistas were involved there. And we have to make sure that we understand what's happening in that part of the world. Certainly, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you and the ranking member for making some changes. For example, trying to move Mexico into Southcom. I understand the department doesn't like that, but we did do that with Israel some years ago. And what's happening right now, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect right now between Central and South America and Mexico. Right now, there's just not the same type of work that we're doing in this area. And this is why it's important that we move Mexico as part of Southcom so we can have that connection. Again, it's important because of what China and Russia are doing in those countries, but especially because of the transnational organizations that are bringing drugs into the United States and working with those countries. Again, members, I would ask you to please talk to Southcom and look at what they're doing. And I think it's important because I don't want us to wake up one of these days and realize what's happening in South and Central America. So with that, I want to thank the chairman and the ranking member for the work that they're doing. I know this bill is still a work in progress, but we'll get together later on. With that, I yield back the balance of the time.